Hey everyone, Tyler Miller here with Obvious Real Estate, and welcome back to the podcast. Today I'm super excited to welcome Jeff Chrast from Granite Bank. This is my good-looking gentleman over here to my right, probably your left. But yeah, I'm super excited to introduce you guys to Jeff. If you haven't met him before, he is an amazing loan officer, an even better guy. It's been a privilege getting to know you recently. And yeah, you know, Granite and Obvious Real Estate have been partnered and doing a lot of awesome things together. And I just think it's important that you guys know who you might get a chance to work with. And realize the power of such an amazing bank and lender out there. So thanks for joining me today, sir.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So I'm going to start it off with just easy, like rapid fire stuff.
Yep,
you know, you know, sometimes now Jeff is this isn't his first podcast, so he's a little bit more savvy.
We'll see.
So, you know, sometimes I got to like warm people up, but Jeff came ready to play today.
Nice.
So I have some rapid fire, kind of like a mix of some like personal things I know about you, and then some like lender related ones.
Sounds good.
So let's just start it off with that. So first one, really easy. Do you prefer a call or text?
It really depends on the individual. I'm always
That's not an answer
on
Jeff,
text.
he's dodging.
Always available
He's
on
dodging.
text. Yep. But I personally like to talk to everybody I can.
Okay.
Just because I can feel out their personality. We can get to know each other and go that way.
So if you're like in your personal life, if it's like you and a buddy, you would rather call them than text them?
Yeah,
okay.
I would.
I like it. That's not me, but I got respect for it. I think obviously if it's like a close friend or something, it's like, hey, let's have a conversation.
Yep.
But yeah, like when people call me, I mean, I'm sure with you too, you get a lot of phone calls.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, man, I can't answer the phone every time it rings. It's hard.
Right. And that's my typical response is please text me. But if I can talk to them, I just feel like sometimes on text, you know, what you're trying to relate doesn't come over as well as, you know, talking to them. So
game changer. Have you used audio messages yet?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yep. They are nice. Yep.
That to me is even like better than all of them because it's like, hey, I don't have to bother you with a phone call unless because maybe you're not available, but I'm going to get everything out that I need to get out to you.
Yep.
You can listen, you can talk to your spouse, you can talk to whoever and then call me back or even better, audio message me back. Right. So fun fact for all you out there.
Way of the future.
Yeah. Okay. So we got a call. All right. This one, I'm curious what you're going to say. I think I know the answer. So hunting or fishing?
Hunting,
okay.
100%.
Yeah, I figured you'd say hunting.
Yeah.
So you're a big hunter.
Yeah, I am.
You and your family. I saw you have pictures of your boys out there hunting with you.
Yep. So they've been doing it since they probably were 4 and 6 right now. So we hunt just about everything and just great family time. And my wife enjoys coming along and taking pictures of the whole event and everything.
Yeah.
So
So your wife comes out with you when you go hunting. She's not shooting anything though?
She used to.
Okay.
Yep, she used to. And now she just prefers coming along and just being part of the experience.
Yeah.
And she's a great photographer. So then we just get to, you know, see all the experiences afterwards as well.
It makes more sense now because if you check out Jeff on social, you do have a lot of like good, like really nice looking photos and maybe some videos that I know is not your handiwork.
Not me at all. Yep. She's very talented.
Yeah, she did a good job on a few of those I looked at. So shout out to Jeff's wife, whose name is
Cassie.
Cassie. Yep. Shout out to Cassie. Good job.
Yeah.
Okay, so no surprise there. You said hunting. Just off the cuff, like what is your favorite animal to hunt if you had to pick?
Probably mule deer.
Mule deer. Yep. All right. Why mule deer? Like what's wrong with mule deer that you want to shoot them?
It's not that I like to shoot them. I just like to pursue them. And
okay.
We go out west, so you're constantly walking. Like when you're out there, it's like a spot and stalk type of hunt. So you're walking, 15, 20 miles a day. And
so you're not like sitting in a stand somewhere.
Right.
Now, why is that? Like, so, obviously in Minnesota, people get in their stands, they just chill.
Yeah.
But like, so is mule deer, is it just they're too smart to walk by?
Well, they're more nomadic, so they're hard to pattern. So you just kind of got to go find them. And
that would be more fun, like tracking them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I can get on board with that.
Yeah, I really enjoy that.
All right. Next one. I know you like to travel.
Correct.
Vacation or staycation?
Vacation.
So you'd rather get up and go experience something new.
Yep.
Okay.
And my wife definitely helps me out with that.
Yeah.
So she's taken me many places that I never thought I'd have.
Where's the favorite spot? If like one or two that come to mind.
On a anniversary, we did a European cruise. So we flew to Rome and did like a 10-day, European cruise, which I would never have done and would not have been in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
She planned it all, had it all, and I loved it. It was awesome. The food, the experience, everything.
There's nothing better than that area.
Yeah. And then we ended up in for 3 days, we went to the Switzerland, to the Swiss mountains or Swiss Alps. And that was like I don't know.
Fairy tale?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's exactly
it makes
what
no
it is.
sense. When you see it, you're like, is this like a painting or like it's bizarre to see the Swiss Alps in person.
Yeah, it was incredible.
It's even more beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's shocking to like think that. But I look back at photos of like Lucerne where we were staying for a little bit, and like it's just not even. You're just like that doesn't even do any justice.
Yeah, you walk. There's a place we went to called, I think it was Avenue of 21 Waterfalls or something like that. Not exactly sure where it was, but you just drive down this road and it's mountainscapes on both sides and basically 21
You were probably in
waterfalls.
Lauterbrunnen.
Yes, that is actually right.
We stayed there for like 4 days.
Nice.
Yeah, it's crazy. Again, you're just like, am I in Lord of the Rings or like what? Like
That's exactly what it looks like.
It doesn't seem real. I remember the first time I saw a video of Lauterbrunnen, I was like, AI.
Yeah.
Has to be. Like it's like this like these cottages and then they pan and it's like this waterfall with like a rainbow and you're like, that's not real.
Yep. Cows are walking around with bells around their neck.
It's a place.
Yeah.
It's a real place. I'm like, how? Okay.
Everyone should definitely try to experience it.
Oh my gosh.
It's a crazy trip.
It was awesome. Well, we align there. Europe is very special. Okay. Coffee or energy drink?
Never touch energy drinks. Always coffee.
There we go.
There we go.
See, all you guys drinking energy drinks. I don't know what the problem is. Like, just have coffee.
Yeah, pretty much cannot function without coffee. Have to have it.
I had some before this, so I'm feeling good. All right. This one's just, I'm not even going to ask that one. That one's easy. Let's see here. So this is like shifting to like loan officer stuff.
Yeah.
So if you had to like pick, like, this is like picking the best of the worst.
Okay.
Okay. So like a ton of paperwork or a ton of emails.
That's a tough one, I would say, because I saw your video of about your emails yesterday.
Emails. Don't get me started.
Probably paperwork, just because I can dive into it, feel accomplished. The emails seem to like, as soon as you feel accomplished, they just keep coming.
Send one comes back.
I
you
think
send one, 3 come back. That's what happens to me.
Yeah, I think I'm on average probably 300 a day now, so it's crazy.
Yeah, it's like I said in the video, I have so many, like for the last month, I've been like setting up so many filters.
Yeah.
For example, when the first of the month hits, I think every loan officer in the world sends me a market update email.
Yeah, probably.
And I will say, just so you know, to make you feel very special, you're the one that I don't filter.
That's good.
I let it come through, baby. I'm like, you know what? I want to see Jeff's, and specifically Granite Bank.
Yeah.
But any other email that's like market update is filtered out of my inbox.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, because
so much.
The problem with our industry is if you unsubscribe from something, you unsubscribe from like them completely sometimes. And it's like, well, hold on, I might need to do a deal with these people in the future. So you can't unsubscribe.
Yeah.
But then you're left with this, well, do I just keep on receiving these emails or what? And so filters have been a wonderful little discovery for me.
Yeah.
But still, like 100 come through a day where I'm like, how? How are you getting through my filters?
Yeah, it's a never-ending process.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and I'm using AI and all sorts of stuff, and it still doesn't matter.
I'm gonna have to get the ideas of the filters from you.
Oh yeah, I'll talk to you about it. It's that honestly is a game changer. Let's see here: early mornings or late nights? You're an early riser?
I've kind of switched the last 5 years. I used to be a night owl, and then just health-wise, I've realized how much sleep you really need to get to stay healthy.
Yeah.
So now I'm up 4:30, 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, that early.
And it just seems like in our lifestyles and, my area of my career, it's the only time I have to work on myself or preach up with those emails and different things like that. So that's when I'll try to get to the gym, hang out with the kids before school, things like that. So I definitely prefer early mornings.
I'm like the same way. I am such a night owl, but like have recently in the last couple of years been like kind of converting. Like for me, I'm not getting up at 4 or 5. That's madness.
Yeah.
That's a different kind of commitment. But like, I mean, getting up even at like 6:30 or 7 for me is like an accomplishment, Nice. But you got to go to bed earlier, which It's tough, man.
That is tough.
It's tough.
Yep.
The kids don't get in bed till like 9:30, 10.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, so do I see my spouse or not?
Right. It's trying.
It's a hard one.
The never-ending balance issue.
Yes.
There's no doubt.
All right. If you had to pick one, detailed buyer or decisive buyer?
Probably detailed,
Yeah.
I guess, because they know what they want and they usually get us on our end, get us the documents up front. We can get them through underwriting, get them approved.
Less stuff that comes up at the end. Probably.
Right. So I do not. I've been in my career a long time. When I have a buyer going out with a realtor partner,
Yeah.
they're going to get their loan unless they do something stupid on their portion, quit a job, things like that. I don't want to have the stress of knowing that they're not approved. I want to make sure they are approved fully, going out with us. So yeah, decisiveness, I think they'll figure it out when they go look at houses. Cause a lot of people come to me and say, hey, I want to stick in the $1,600 a month budget, but they end up having a $2,400 appetite for a house, you know? So I said, just get out there, figure out what you want, and then we can talk about your budget and your lifestyle and see if we can meet in the middle or what you might have to give up or, change your budget a little bit just to make it work.
And I think from a loan officer's perspective, like I would easily choose detailed because, not that it matters a ton, but like if they are taking a while to look at houses, you're physically not out there running into in through these houses where they're probably not going to buy one, and it's like a learning curve type thing where they just got to see a few, so it's not really costing you any additional time other than, oh, I didn't get another loan closed this month, but like that would be the least of my concerns. I'd be like, I want you to be fully educated, understand all the different programs, work on your credit if you need to, all this stuff before you're like actually writing offers, because it's just going to lead to issues. The realtor might be happy, like, oh, they wrote an offer really quick, but if there's a bunch of errors at the end because they were just gun-ho, like
and we understand that you're putting your commission and these people are putting their lives in our hands. We want to make sure they're taken care of at, up front, so we don't have those issues. We want to have them worry about you just working out the negotiations on a house, them worrying about moving and, their lives changing, things like that. So that's we take that, for granted sometimes, but you want to make sure you have a loan officer and a realtor partner that kind of look at equal on on that topic,
100%. So, okay, another one, rapid fire. Would you go with, if again, this is the worst, the best of two evils in my opinion, reality TV or the news?
That is a tough one. I don't know. I find myself watching the news every morning and wanting to shut it off.
I know.
Because I want to see what the weather is more than anything. Everything else, you take it with a grain of salt these days. But
it's so hard because I'm like, you have to know what's going on in the world. But the news isn't always delivering all of the story. Most times it's one side of it. And so it's like, you can only watch it for so long. I do know there's so many people that they will not turn on the news.
No.
I will not watch the local news.
Interesting.
Yeah,
what's your reason for that?
It's never anything worth watching. In my opinion, it's like, hey, 2 more people were shot in Minneapolis or two. I'm just like, yep, I'm aware. I'm aware of what's going but nationally, I think, especially in our industries, it's like we kind of have to know a little bit of what's going on. I can't be ignorant to the fact that right now, for example, there's a war starting in Iran. Yeah. We have to kind of know that because people are going to ask us, well, what do you think's going to happen?
Right.
And if you're just like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like that. So it's like this catch-22.
Yeah.
I think if we weren't in our industries, I would bet we probably won't watch the news as much.
Yeah, I would agree.
Right? We'd just be like, I don't care.
Social media, I think we're on it.
Right.
Because you have to be present.
Right.
But, I could handle not having the negative stuff. I'm more of a positive person all the time. So if it was all positive stuff, I'd be on it a lot more. Yeah. But, that's just kind of the mind frame I like to keep.
Yeah. No, I think I find myself watching some reality TV, but it's mostly like competition type stuff or it's not like Real Housewives or anything. If there was a Real Housewives of Blaine, I'd watch it. It'd be kind of fun.
There you go.
But it's like Beast Games or I don't know, just things like that are like
that's cool.
Fun with the family.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's considered reality TV, but all right, this is a fun one. As a loan officer, we're talking about rates, fixed or adjustable?
I am an always fixed person. Okay. Now, I will have discussions with people about adjustable rates depending on their scenario.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody knows they're going in to buy a house, say a market like Lake Minnetonka, where they know the appreciation's there, they know they're going to be there 3 years, they might want to do an interest only or an adjustable rate just to get the best possible rate.
Right.
And they're looking at maybe turning and flipping that property or moving up to something, and they're just looking to get the equity.
Right.
Perfect scenario for that type of stuff. But living through the recession and watching interest rates do what they did with adjustable rates, I just like, and I don't really talk about rate as much. I do, but I don't.
Focus on
it really comes down to payment. You know, if you're comfortable with this payment and you can get your dream house, and this is, you know, go with the fixed rate. You know that's not going to change except for taxes or insurance.
Yep.
And we can, if rates drop down the road, we can always refinance. Then we just kind of go over that. But
yeah, I agree. I think the rate is irrelevant for the most part because it's mainly about the payment, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what are you comfortable with? Okay, let's try to make this work,
Yeah.
right? So adjustable rate mortgages fascinate me, and I've done one in my life, and like it worked out. But yeah, it can definitely go south too if things don't go how we expect. But what would you say, like percentage wise, how many people are doing fixed versus ARMs in your world?
In my market, 98% fixed rates.
Right, right now.
Yeah,
yeah, and that's what I'd guess. I always bring up ARMs to people, but most people are just they're risk adverse. They're just like, I just want. Whatever's guaranteed.
And you want to make sure they're fully educated in it to understand what, you know, it can adjust, and it could adjust up to 2% that first year of the adjustment, and it could adjust another 2% the next year. They just want to make sure they're, you know, getting into whatever term and, you know, the qualifications and things of that ARM are.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome. All right. The last one I have here, again, is probably like the best of the worst. So, as a loan officer, would you prefer? Well, God, what's the best way to add? Which one annoys you more?
Oh boy.
How about this? Which one annoys you more?
Okay.
Underwriter emails, or
a lot of my underwriters are going to be watching, so I gotta be careful.
It's not personal. It's not personal.
No.
Or realtor texts about updates on files.
I don't mind the texts from realtors because we have such a good system in place with Granite especially once a file is in process, like somebody's, you know, got an accepted purchase agreement. A lot of the emails, they get sent videos, listing agents,
emails are
agents, and they have videos that they're awesome. They actually tell the story of what part of the loan process they're in. So I don't get really a lot of, you know, those. Now, if they want to get updated on a, you know, particularly complicated buyer that they sent me, you know, for an update, maybe, you know, it takes a couple days to get their verifications of where they worked the last 2 years, things like that. No problem. I mean, that's typically how I'll get a text like that. Love it. Underwriters, I don't really we've got such a good flow that I don't really, if an underwriter's calling me, there's something major that happened usually. Otherwise my team kind of handles it. So I can, you know, but the nice thing is I know them all personally, and I can pick up the phone and, you know, discuss things. We're there to get, you know, answer dreams of home ownership instead of knock them down, you know. So and that's the way they are. So that's super nice.
So realtor text, in other words, all the underwriters, he doesn't like you.
No, we love you.
No, he didn't say that. So, but he didn't pick you. I'll just, you know. Okay. So thanks for indulging me in a rapid fire.
Absolutely.
But now I want you to take, you know, couple minutes and just kind of maybe introduce yourself a little bit more to anybody that's watching or listening. Like, who's Jeff Chrast?
Okay.
What do we need to know about you? Maybe talk about your family, maybe where you grew up, a few of your interests, how long you've been doing loans.
Okay.
Yeah, just give us a little background.
I can throw that out in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, give us just a little snippet of Jeff.
Yeah,
so the family man and the lender.
Yeah, again, full name Jeff Chrast. I have a wife. I've been married for, I think, 16 years now, I believe. And it's 16 or 17.
Hopefully you got that right.
Yeah, I'm hoping I got that right. But two wonderful kids, ages 14 and 16, who I've had the pleasure of coaching for the last 5 to 6 years in basketball and some in baseball. So that's coming to an end, which is kind of crazy. In May, I will hang up the coaching sneakers, I guess. And so we're kind of living in the moment with that right now. I've been in the industry for 25 years. I run a team out of Chanhassen. I've got 5 wonderful loan officers that work for me. Great. They've all, between us all, we probably have 150 years of experience between, I think almost everybody's got 25 years that works for me in the industry. So we've seen just about everything. Free time, you probably elaborated to hunting and fishing, anything in the outdoors, traveling, things like that. I think.
Are you guys going somewhere for spring break?
Yes. So we kind of, my wife's been going in Florida to Anna Marie Island for the last 20 years. So we kind of try to go down there 2 to 3 times a year if we can.
Nice.
So we've got a sophomore now, so we'll probably have this year, next year left. And then we'll be doing senior trips, things like that. So we try to get down there whenever we can, just a nice, peaceful vacation place on the beach. So
awesome.
Love that. I guess something a little bit about our industry or about me, I kind of look at everybody that I work with as they deserve the dream of home ownership. I kind of look at the different things about when I look at somebody, I get up in the morning and I drink a cup of coffee, walk out on my deck and understand the important feeling of that, or having a pet and letting him run in a backyard and not have to worry about stuff like that in an apartment and things. So I think if any of my clients or people that I work with want to become homeowners, I'm going to do everything we possibly can to help make that happen. Even if they have rougher credit or they're not ready, we're going to make sure we get them on a game plan to get that dream, answered for them.
Yeah. So no, I love that. I think, it's interesting when I talk to like a realtor or a loan officer that doesn't own a home. I feel like I'm like, it's kind of hard to like understand how special it truly is to have a place to call your own and to like, I don't know, it's just, you need to be able to relay that to somebody. And for you to describe just even that, like walking out on my deck with a cup of coffee, letting my dog run. That's why like some people like dream of that. They're like, I just want that. How do I get that?
I mean, I've talked to people that are in their 4th, 5th generation, never owned a house. I mean, they're the first person that has ever owned a house in their family history. And I've had people that have been as young as this past year, an 18-year-old girl bought her first house. She was the youngest client I've ever had.
That's amazing.
And which was phenomenal accomplishment for her.
Well, especially when the average age of the first-time home buyer is 40. 40. When I first started, and I like date myself now. I'm like been doing this for a while, but I started, like 2006 when I was 18. Man, the average age of the first time home buyer was like 23 or 24.
It had to be 24,
something like that.
Something like that.
And then like in the last few years, it jumped up to 30. And then I just saw a stat yesterday or 2 days ago. It says 40. So like, speaking about that, it's mainly related to the affordability of a home, right? And how wages haven't increased to keep up with inflation, and home ownership or home prices have obviously gone up over the last handful of years due to a shortage in inventory and all that stuff. But like, what do you think's going to happen? Like, so you want to help people achieve that dream, right? Like, what do you guys see happening, or what is coming in your industry that is programmed to help home affordability?
Well, home affordability a lot is linked to the economy, obviously, and the interest rate can make a big difference. So, interest rates are an important factor, but your budget is sometimes a bigger factor. So sometimes we have to have a come to Jesus moment with our clients and say, you can't come out of college with $200,000 in student loans. You can't go get the $100,000 vehicle with a $1,500 payment and expect to become a homeowner right away too. And I see that a lot, where some of the student loans and car loan payments are just crushing people. People are making 6 figures sometimes, and that really deters them. So we have to just maybe better education out there about what you're getting into, when you're buying that vehicle.
I think you touched on something that's just like grinds my gears or chaps something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, and this happened to me too. And like my dad and mom are like, you know, very, they're smart, they're educated and stuff like that. But like, I feel like the problem almost like kind of starts at home in a way where like parents aren't taking enough of an interest in like the idea of what is my kid's life going to look like if they go to college?
Yep.
Because, like, I think it's just almost like a rite of passage, right? Well, you go to college.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you sat down with your kid and broke down what it's going to cost them and what the payments will be when they're older and what the price of homes or apartments is and all this stuff, I feel like a lot of people would be like, I don't think I should go to college.
Right. Yeah. I think it's an individual. You've got to have an individual conversation with each kid or each individual and see if it's worth their while.
Go to college because you got to learn how to grow up or what. What the whole thing for like affordability is there's no way that the government is going to fix that.
No,
in my opinion, because let's say they drop rates. What's going to happen? A bunch of buyers are going to want to buy houses, right? And then that's going to lead to the prices increasing. And we've all done the scenarios of like, hey, buying a house at a 6% rate at $350 is actually cheaper than buying a house with a 4.5% rate at $400.
Yep.
Right? Like we've all done these scenarios. And you lose out on the $50,000 in appreciation, which creates wealth. So it's like, I think where affordability is going to get better is people start making more educated decisions. And like how many people would you say in the last, I don't know, handful of years when you look at their debts have a car payment over $1,000?
Oh, 70%.
Like 60, one 70%. Of the car payments is $1,000 or more.
Yep.
And I say that to people and they're like, who are these people?
Yep.
And I'm like, I swear to you, it is very common. Yep. And I'm not saying that there's maybe ways to always avoid that. Like sometimes you need a big vehicle because you got a lot of kids or whatever, but you don't need to buy the new one.
No.
You don't, and
and the prices are crazy right now, even on used vehicles.
Yeah.
So like if I see an application and I ask them about a car payment, I almost cringe at first. I'm like, all right, how much is that car payment? And if they say under $400, I'm amazed.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's great. You're doing
incredible.
You're doing 100 times better than, most people I see out there.
Right.
By keeping that low.
And like, there's so many people out there that own a home and they have a low interest rate, right?
Yep.
And then they're like, well, I can't move. Why would I ever move? Right. Interest rates are double. Yeah, but you have a $2,000 car payment and your student loans are crushing you.
Yep.
Sure, your mortgage is low, but what if you could use all that equity and pay off that stuff?
Yeah.
And now your life is way easier. And sure, your mortgage payment is higher, but like your overall debt or I guess amount of money you have to make each month is far less now. And it's not, I don't want to say a home debt is like good debt, but it's better debt than student loans and car payments and credit cards.
Right.
But people will sit there and they'll hold on to their low interest rate or they'll tell themselves, I can't do something until the rates are super low or whatever, but they'll just continue getting crushed by these other debts.
And I think I heard it maybe from your team, the term called lifestyle interest rate. Yeah. It's like once you break down, what the difference is, you've got 30% in your Home Depot card. You've got, you've got your Chase card at, 29% and 30 grand on it. You kind of combine them all, where at least if you flow it into maybe a refinance or sell your house, pay off all your debt and go into a different, it's all about your budget and your lifestyle. It really is.
What is that low rate getting you if you can't afford to go on vacation or you can't afford to get the next house because your other debts make it so, and I'm just like, but you're sitting on like $200,000 of equity. Let's say if you bought a home before COVID, you're sitting on at least 6 figures of equity. It's like, what could you do with that?
Right.
So I talk to people all the time and they're like, well, I got that low interest rate, so I can't move.
And I have that conversation a lot with people where they have that and they're like, well, I'm just going to do a home equity line of credit.
Right.
And I've been doing it long enough where, yes, you can do that. That's an adjustable rate mortgage that's going to fluctuate with the economy. Everyone's been doing it last couple of years and not touching that low interest rate. but now all of a sudden they're talking about maybe increasing interest rates again.
Yeah.
Well, that one goes up then.
Yep.
You know, that adjusts.
Well, and it's usually interest only.
HELOCs. Yep, it's interest only.
So you're not doing anything. You're just literally lighting $2,000 a month on fire, and
right.
You know, and so.
And usually what happens is they'll call me in 3 to 4 years and say, hey, I want to do a cash out refinance and pay off. I don't like these 2 payments.
Right.
So then we just kind of go over those options and see what we can do. And if you're saving $1,000 to $3,000 a month out of your budget by doing a cash out refi or selling your house and buying a different one, I mean, makes some pretty common sense to me.
Yeah.
You know,
but there is one thing that I know Granite Bank is doing with affordability. You guys have a new loan program out that
correct.
For, I believe, first-time buyers.
Yes.
To get a lower rate.
Oh, actually, it's not even limited to first-time home buyers.
Okay,
so
even better.
Yeah, so we have an investor that works with us that allocates a certain amount of money per year towards an interest rate that's 1.5%, typically lower than the current market. I'm actually going to lock somebody in today.
That's crazy.
On that program, and it's
1.5%.
great. So
it
does have some income restrictions and things,
Yeah.
but it's a phenomenal program.
So like right now, someone can maybe get like a 4.5-ish rate.
When I looked at this morning, it was like 4.875 with
Wow.
one discount point.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's a phenomenal program. So as long as you meet the criteria, which it's pretty easy to meet it in most cases. So.
And those are the types of programs that I think will help with affordability a little bit. It's like you got to come up with creative ways to maybe help out the, I don't want to say less fortunate, but the people that are in a tougher spot, which is more of that first-time home buyer making maybe less than $100,000 or something. It's like, okay, how do we help them? Because the market's not affordable for that person. It's affordable for the guy that just bought a $800,000 house. Like he didn't have to buy it. You know, but the ones that are trying to break into that first-time range, which is 300 to 400 or 350 to 450. I mean, those mortgage payments with 5% down are around like $3,000-ish.
Right.
You know, and it's like that's a lot of money for, you know, first-time home buyers.
And that's how I get a lot of calls. Like I'll get like it's somebody from Google or something search me and say, hey, I'm working with you know, some of the big box lenders and things like that. And it really matters who you work with because in this market, you know, say there's a house that's been sitting on the market for 30 days or something, and it's not moving, and your buyer likes it. Well, my rate's 6.5 right now.
Right.
Well, we can utilize the sellers to give you certain concessions towards their closing costs. We could take 2% of that and buy your rate down by 1.5%.
Right.
And the media doesn't market that, or you know, you're not seeing that. But by working with educated people, you know, we could probably get you 1.5% lower than the normal market rate just by buying it down with this and then having the seller pay for it.
Right.
So there's all kinds of different ideas that we can do to make it affordable for you.
Yep.
It's just working with the right individuals.
Absolutely. So speaking of the right individuals, you've been doing this for 25 years.
Yep.
You've been to multiple lenders, multiple banks over the years, I'm sure.
Correct. Yep.
Why Granite? How long you been at Granite?
Granite, I was their first branch manager they hired. Okay. It'll be coming up on 3 years in June.
Wow. Okay.
So
yeah, I was going to say because like Granite is relatively newer.
Yeah, the bank has been around for a long time. They've been doing mortgages, but they really wanted to do a mortgage division and kind of expand nationally, which was part of the reason I came over. And I get that question a lot, like why Granite? Because we can, you know, when we're anywhere. We can go anywhere and work.
You could be in Florida. You could, you know, you could go anywhere you want, and you choose Granite. And knowing, like, getting to know you over the last year, like, you're an exceptional loan officer.
Thank you.
Great person. Charismatic, jumps in pools because I'm guessing your wife dared you.
Yep, that was a dare for the last 3 months.
It was fantastic. Like you're doing all the right things where not every lender has all the ingredients to success like you do. So it's like somebody like you could go anywhere you want. You could get a nice offer from another bank and go tomorrow, right? But you choose to stay at Granite for now 3+ years. Why? What is it?
I think when I left, I was at my last mortgage company for about 10 years. But the culture had kind of faded. And I think a big thing with our sales environment and is just finding every big box lender, every mortgage company out there can offer you literally the same thing for interest rates and products, things like that. But when I started talking to Granite, it's a small family-owned company out of Cold Spring.
Yeah, and the owner is fantastic.
Yes, and I mean we just had a trip to Mexico for like a President's Club thing, and he broke down and almost teared up on his speech of how proud he was of everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, that goes a long way when you're making your decision where you want to spend. I'm to the point in my career where I want to stay somewhere and be here for the rest of my career.
Yeah.
And just the overall culture and the common sense lending there is what drew me there. I really like that. And then they have portfolio products that a lot of like mortgage brokers, big box lenders don't have, where, you know, we have the ability, say you have 20% down and maybe something doesn't fit the puzzle piece of a conventional loan or FHA loan. We can take it to the board or to the bank owner and be like, hey, this is why I feel this is a good loan, and we can go back to them, and if it makes sense, they can make the exceptions and they can do a portfolio loan for them with that.
Yeah, so there's nothing really like standing in your way, like a bunch of red tape and things. It's like, hey, obviously we're keeping everything above board, but we're going to be flexible and try to help these people get into homes. Yeah, because that's the mission versus I don't know, margin making more money than ever before, and like, you know, it's like. I've always found it interesting that like some banks just like won't do certain programs. I've never quite understood it. I'm sure there's way more to it.
It's hard for me to understand sometimes too.
Yeah, but I'm like,
I want all
not?
the fancy toys that are out there for products. And there are some stuff we don't do, but I would say when I searched around, when I made my career move, Granite by far had the best portfolio of products that no one else could really touch. And they just keep expanding that. And it's very proud to be part of that atmosphere right now. And the culture we're building is, you know, second to none, I feel.
Yeah.
You know?
I was looking around, you know, over the last couple of years of like, man, who is like a really good bank and culture to kind of match what our team brings to the table. And like, I mean, I interviewed many different banks and lenders to like just figure out what's the best fit. And like every single one wasn't even close to Granite. Nice. You know what I mean?
No, that's kind of what I was feeling when I was searching around.
And it wasn't even like, yes, I think it's important that you're very versatile with all your programs. I mean, you can do land loans, you can do new construction, you can do all sorts of stuff, right?
Yep.
So I was like, awesome. You can even do commercial.
Correct.
Which is something that we do too. And it's like, okay, I got everything I need, and I could get that from a few places, not everywhere. But then it just came down to like just the kind of the salt of the earth, local, like these are good people that truly, genuinely want to see you win and like want to help. How can we do it?
Right.
That's a cool like culture to be a part of.
Yeah, and it's nice. I've been in both types of culture, and I feel like our culture, we're there to help everybody else succeed as well.
Yeah.
Like I'm an open book. If a loan officer calls me from Florida and says, hey, how are you being productive? You know, I'll give them my
You're like,
advice.
Let me state your VRBO and then I'll tell you.
Yeah, there you go. And I've made those kind of connections as well all over the country. Be like, hey, I know you're doing great. You're in a completely different market.
Yep.
What are you doing out there that's different, that, you know, puts you above the competition and things? And honestly, it's just a lot of honest folks doing good things for people and realizing that everybody can be a homeowner if you guide them and help them, because there's not a lot of, you know, there's information out there, but you want to make sure you're getting the right information, you know, out to people too.
So I could talk to you forever. We only have a little bit of time. So I want to give you a chance I'd like to know, like quickly on this one, like give me like, I don't know, the most like ridiculous thing like that you've seen in 25 years. Like you don't have to say names. You don't have to say like specifically what happened. Maybe just like the most bizarre story, like keep it short. And then I want to know a recent success story that you want to share to kind of like wrap things up. Like that's something that demonstrates like a creative way that Jeff Chrast.
Yep.
Chrast. Christ.
Pronounced numerous ways.
Yeah, whatever you want. It's just Jeff. That you kind of like save the day on or just like feel like you really made an impact. So start with like something like, I just want to hear something crazy.
All right. So this comes to mind all the time.
Okay.
This is first 2 years of my career.
It always is in the first few years.
Worked with one individual on the application the whole time.
Yep.
Came to closing and they didn't have their IDs with. So they were doing a HELOC, like a home equity loan, $100,000, taking all the cash out. Okay. So sometimes you get intuition about things, and the guy showed up. That's who I talked to the whole time. His wife was there. They didn't have the IDs. We didn't have cell phones at those times. This is 20 years ago.
Long time ago. In a galaxy far away.
So I just had a feeling because they're like, oh, we'll get you the IDs, when we get home. So I just had a gut feeling and picked up the phone as soon as they left out the bank and called the house number. And a lady answered, and it was the wife. And I just wanted to say thank you for, doing the loan with me. I'm like, you really got home super fast, and pretty much threw some explicitives at me and said, I don't know who you are and I don't know what you're doing, but I was never at a bank. So this individual was defrauding his wife. He was...
Oh, so it was his wife actually
that answered the phone at home, and he had brought a fake wife or a mistress to closing.
And they're still married?
And I would doubt that.
No, they were at the time.
Oh, yes. They were married. He was going to close out the line of credit and leave the country with her. And
crazy.
So, that was...
So you caught it before?
Yeah, we caught it.
Before you processed it?
Yep. So it was a 3-day waiting period, but it's just something that you kind of knew something was off. And
well,
that's
I don't
kind
have
of a
my
crazy
IDs.
story.
I'd be like...
You're going to take out a $100,000 loan and you don't have your IDs.
And there's not many times in my world that there's not any time in my world that we have to ask for an ID. But there's been a few times. We had a team member one time, felt like just a weird deal. Like, guy lives in Florida, wanted to sell his land in Prior Lake. And we were like, sounds good. Like, knew the name, had the address in Florida that he was staying at, and he sent over like a picture of an ID.
Okay.
And it was the guy that owns a house in Florida and owns this land. But it was just weird. Like we couldn't get him on a Zoom. We couldn't get him. I don't know. It was just something was off. So randomly, can't remember exactly. It was at some country club.
Okay.
The realtor that works with this guy, that like the actual guy, approached his client and said, hey, I saw that your land went pending, and I'm curious why you didn't work with me. Because like I guess they've like done a bunch of stuff together, and the guy's like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Oh. Like, I'm not selling my land. And he's like, he like pulls it up and he's like, yeah, obvious real estate, like sold or has it pending. So this dude calls me and he's like, hey, I'm so-and-so, I own this land. What? You're not talking to me. Like, I'm not selling anything. And I was like, what? I was like, we even got, because we felt it was weird, right?
Yeah.
We were just like, something's weird. So I told my agent, I'm like, get this guy's ID, let's verify. Like, and he sent an ID plus a passport.
Oh, wow.
And he had this guy's, and I sent him the picture. I'm like, is this you? He's like, that's my ID. Wow. And I'm like, but you're not selling your land? He's like, no, sir.
Wow.
And like, so it's actually like a kind of a common scam. I don't know how much is going on now, but it was like 2 years ago where like people would try to sell land for somebody that doesn't live in Minnesota anymore because they just figured they wouldn't even know what was going on.
Yeah.
He happened to be in Minnesota, and the realtor happened to approach him. Otherwise, we would have never discovered it. Title would have processed it. We would have sent the wire to this guy, and the land would have been sold.
Wow.
With it, like, it was the craziest thing.
Yeah,
so, but yeah, like I know what you mean by like, there's like some intuition almost like kicks in. You're like, this just doesn't seem right. Something's going on.
Right.
But this dude, he was on top of it. I mean, he had everything. And I'm like, because I don't remember any other time asking for someone's ID and a passport, and he had both.
Super sad.
Yeah.
Sad that
but we
people
caught him.
Get away with it. Yeah, it's awesome. You caught him.
And the best part is the seller, the real owner was like, hey, I don't want you to alarm him. Mm-hmm. I want to catch this guy. So we were like stringing this guy along and like coming up with reasons it was getting delayed, and we were just trying to like figure out his identity for a while. Yeah. I don't know if he ever did because I kind of like bowed out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, you can deal with this, buddy. But yeah, he was all for like, let's catch this guy. So anyways, don't be a bad person.
Yeah, no doubt.
But anyways, give me, with the last couple minutes we have here, give me a success story, something that you've done recently that you feel maybe significantly impacted someone's life.
Yeah, I've got a great story that happened this year, actually in December. I was coaching my son he got to play like during the day at the Target Center. So we were at the meal on a Friday night after that, and I got a phone call from a realtor partner that I know, and they were in a panic. They were about to sell this lady's house in 5 days. So she had everything set up, people coming for Christmas. She was buying and selling. Well, the day, 5 days before her closing, the lender she had been working with denied her. Just basically said, we can't do the deal. Didn't give her an explanation. Just said, nope, the numbers aren't going to work. So she called me, got on the phone with me. We got a kind of a, a three-way call. We figured out, I think I can get something to work. So we got the application over the weekend, got all the documents processed. I figured out, there's something wrong with their pre-approval that they did. We were able to tweak things, switch it into a different product, get it approved, allowed her to sell, and she was able to buy within, I think it was 11 days. We had it from all around the Christmas holiday. So she went from a complete panic to, getting the dream of selling her house and this brand new house that she loved. And it was phenomenal. She was tearing up at closing. That she was that happy.
And right around Christmas time, I mean, how amazing to be able to save their Christmas. And you're also saving the buyer's Christmas that was buying her house.
Correct.
And the seller that was selling her. Like, there's so many different families that are affected by, is Jeff going to step up and save the day, or is Jeff kind of too busy?
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm sure you got two kids that are, one's probably driving. You got kids in sports. You got a beautiful wife you have to take care of. Like, you got a lot going on. You could easily be like, I don't have time to dive into this. But I think that speaks volumes about who you are, to be like, look, I got you. Just like, let me dig into this. Let me figure this out. And it's not very common in today's world to like actually give a crap about people, and I can tell right away when I met you that you do. So kudos to you for that.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a awesome feeling, and to be able to help and use some expertise that maybe I've seen in the past, and things that maybe some other loan officers wouldn't have figured out. It was just great to be able to come to their rescue. I guess. So
and the last thing I'll leave everybody with is, like, I've been doing this for a long time too, and I will say that I used to think like, oh, if this lender can't do it, it's probably just not going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, there was a time where I'm just like, hey, like, there's probably not a way to do this. Like, you're just not approved. And like, I have been so proven wrong over the years of, like, there is almost always a way to do it. And I would encourage everybody out there who's maybe been denied or just not getting approved for what they want, or like feel that they could afford. Your loan officers aren't created equally.
No.
And the banks are so different. They're just, they all have different regulations. They all have different requirements for their loans. They all have different programs. Like, some of these programs that you have told me about, not today, but privately, are programs that are available to anyone. But most loan officers don't look into them. Just like each city has different grants for their buyers and stuff like that. Like, not many realtors know about these things. And so like, who you work with matters a ton in my world, but maybe even more so in the lender world, because like, there's always a way to make something work, unless you just your credit is flat out just not there. But like,
and even if it's not there, at least there's a pathway. If you want to own a house, we'll get you on the right path. And it may take 1 month, it may take 6 months, but we can distinctly tell you, what you need to do to make.
We're not going to leave you on your own. We're going to give you a step-by-step plan.
And I had talked to a financial planner, I don't know, not too long ago, and they had got denied. Their client got denied, and just called and asked some questions. I'm like, oh yeah, we can't do it now, but we can do it here and here. He's like, it's just not a no. I'm like, well, no, we'll get them on a path to where they're like, I've talked to 4 loan officers, and it was just no. Come back in 6 months. When they fix their credit, give me a call back. And that can be part ignorance, it can be part laziness, or just not wanting to do it. But ultimate thing in our industry is who you work with. You'll see your Zillows or your all not necessarily Zillow, but your big box people. You're not always going to get equal treatment.
No, and they don't always have
on your scenarios.
Programs. So I used to just think, I didn't think like a lender was a lender. I never was that ignorant, but I just thought, oh, they all have like kind of the same programs, and like, it's probably just not going to work. But I realized really quickly it's just not that way. Most people, can qualify. You just have to get connected to the people that actually care and will try hard and work with you.
Yeah, getting the interest rate and locking in your rate with the programs is probably 5% of what matters when you're buying a house or when you're getting financing. It's all the other stuff, getting to the closing table on time, making sure it goes out without a hitch, making sure they're getting a 6-star service. So they have a wonderful experience with it.
100%.
That's what we want.
Well, I appreciate you coming by
thanks
and
for having
spending
me.
an hour with me. And for those of you that are still watching, thank you for your support. And if you are looking to buy or sell, Obvious Real Estate would love to help you. And Jeff over at Granite would be an amazing person to get connected to. Again, you can help with traditional buying and selling. You can do land, new construction. You can do commercial.
Pretty much nationwide as well.
Probably help you.
That's huge.
Fund to buy a horse. I don't know. You can do a lot of stuff.
We'll send that one to the bank side. We'll let them fund the horse.
Send that one over to Brian.
Yep, we'll send that one to him. So,
but no, I really mean it. If you guys are out there and you're just not sure where to start, you feel like things aren't that affordable, and there's no other options for you, trust me, there's a way to do it. So feel free to reach out to either of us. Be happy to help. And we wish all of you well. Have a wonderful week ahead. And Jeff, again, thanks for your time, buddy.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. See you guys.
See ya.